Hi, welcome. This video is to help my mamas who find out they're pregnant or pregnant who still want to go to their regular yoga class but don't know what exactly to do or what to avoid in certain situations in a yoga class to protect baby, to protect your own body, and so forth. As always consult your doctor, your PT, anybody that you're working with to help you with this. The biggest thing is we don't want to put pressure on baby, no pain, no weird pulling sensations and so forth. And we want to have that breath flowing at all times. Okay, so avoiding dizziness, avoiding just anything that doesn't make you feel good. Okay, and even if that means you have to sit back and just breathe and find a resting position when everybody else is working, that's okay. That is wonderful. And I'll show you here a few things to do while they may be going on their belly or doing their core work and so forth, some safer solutions for you. So biggest thing that we want to avoid in a regular yoga class is going on your belly. So like going down for cobra, doing any floor work that you're putting pressure on baby. Now, first trimester, if you're not quite showing or there's no discomfort when you're laying on your belly, that can be fine. So you have to kind of assess the situation. I personally could lay on my belly for my first trimester with no problems. And then once I started showing a little bit more, then it got uncomfortable and I just completely stopped. If you want to be very cautious, you can just avoid the belly altogether. And that is your choice and very safe choice as well. So what do you do when the class goes on their belly and you're like, oh shoot, I don't want to go on my belly. I don't want to smash my baby. So there's a lot of different things. Like I said earlier, you could just sit and breathe and connect with your baby, which is always beneficial. Coming back to your breath. You could take a child's pose at any point, okay? So just making sure there's enough space for a baby, lying down, just taking that resting pose for you. But a lot of yogis, they want to get the work in. They want to feel like, they're doing something in the yoga class and just want to feel like they're gaining something. So if that's you, I personally like to work on my booty. I like more opening and so forth. So just a few things. You can come to tabletop and just nice and comfortable. If you haven't done cat-cows in your class yet, cat and cows is nice. Lifting up on the inhale, exhale, hugging baby in, tucking the tailbone and the chin. Just a few of those. You can even do the side, what I call side cat and cow, just back and forth. You can stretch out your wrists. A lot of times classes aren't on their belly for that long, so keep that in mind. And then also you can do some booty work, like I said before. And I just like the tabletop, lifting the knee up, squeezing at the top, and lowering back down. So just maybe like 10 on each side. And that really helps strengthen the booty while keeping baby in, keeping the back nice and lengthened. So you do 10 on each side. You could even, if they're still on their belly, you can do some circles with your hips. That helps open up the pelvic floor and mobility. And again, you can choose how many you want to do on each side. Also, you could do some calf stretches, maybe bird dog, keeping the body long, the hips and shoulders level. Baby hugged in for core stability. Then you can switch. So just kind of seeing what works for you in those situations and making sure that breath is there. Like I said, I can't stress that enough. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. And make sure it feels good. You can look back at my other videos on booty strengthening or just other ideas of stretching that will really help to get your mind creative on when there's some things that you need to avoid. Next thing to avoid, as I said earlier as well, is core work. Now, not all core work is bad. It's just you don't want to create that doming shape within the body, within the abdominal, so that the diastasis recti, it is inevitable that it will have some separation, right? So it's just like preventing it from getting out of hand, really being consciously aware of your abs when you're doing certain things. So I always just tell people just to err on the side of caution. Let's not do crunches. Let's not put a lot of pressure on baby in that abdominal. There's other things you can do, like the bird dog that I just showed. It's just really finding core stability and so forth. And then really you're working your core, walking, just doing normal things. If you work out at the gym, squatting, like anytime you're activating through here, you're working your core. So it might not be the traditional crunching that you're used to, that you're gonna get that, get that core work in. It's really your everyday task of just being mindful of this area. So I like to tell people to hug in their transverse abdominals, so the muscles that run right through here, hug in towards baby, and then also that little zip up in the front, like you're zipping up your pants, hugging in. So coming back to all fours, you can relax baby towards the floor without arching, keeping the spine nice and engaged and lengthened. You relax your belly on your inhale. Exhale, you pull baby in and hug it in nice and tight. Inhale, relax. Exhale, hug in. Now you can make it a little bit more intense by curling the toes under, pushing the floor away and floating the knees. So you can inhale, relax the knees down. Exhale, lift and hug baby off. You can even do that in plank as well, if that still feels comfortable for you. So should you avoid core work? Most teachers are gonna say yes. And I always err on the side of caution, especially if I don't know you and I don't know what you've previously done. Like, I'm talking about the core work as in like what you normally do in a regular yoga class, the crunches, the bicycles, and anything that's gonna put pressure on baby, that back and forth and that contraction through here. We always like to usually err on the side of caution, okay? So a lot of other options to do besides that. And again, you can always just find a resting pose, connect with your body and breath. Now, don't neglect this area. Like I said, keep activating throughout the day, like doing your squeezes, hugging in and relaxing, but keep that breath flowing, okay? All right, so another thing that you might avoid, especially in the later trimester, is lying on your back. Everybody's different with how they feel lying on their back. For me, I personally think that it's okay as long as you're feeling good and you're not there for very long. It's not like we're sleeping 8 hours on our back or 2 hours. It's a lot of times you're there for just a moment. So see how you feel on your back. Otherwise, I suggest Shavasana on your side or propped up using a bolster and some blocks so that you can still get some relaxation in. But for the most part, just see how you feel. Roll over to your left side or prop yourself up with the props. Props are great. Don't let them fool you of thinking that it's a crutch. They're amazing. You don't want to overstretch while pregnant because everything is so loosey-goosey. So using your props to help you still open up and feel the stretch, but not holding the stretch for too long. So maybe avoiding your yin classes or anything that's holding for way too long that you don't have that activation in. And then, so we talked about crunches, ab work, we talked about lying on your back. If there's anything else that just really makes you feel uncomfortable, the last thing I will kind of say that you don't want to squash baby is any closed twist. So what do I mean by that is anything that you're going to put pressure on the baby. So if I have a leg forward and I'm turning into that leg, the leg and the belly are going to compress together. I want to avoid that. So if everyone's turning towards their leg and you still have some space, stay lifted. Don't hook the elbow. Just stay lifted here and get your twist. Maybe open the legs wider so that you have that space for baby. Okay? Or you can twist the opposite way. Okay, so just kind of assess where they're going and just be creative. I've even in chair pose, when they do the twist, I just stay lifted and I have my legs slightly apart. So we're just making room for our hips. We're making room for baby as we get bigger and bigger, accompanying that space for baby, for you, keeping it nice and safe and just not squishing it. So think, am I squishing my baby right now? If the answer is yes, back off. That is probably the safest thing to say right there. But otherwise, if you want to do a handstand or a headstand and that's been in your practice for years, do the headstand handstand. But if it's causing you to get dizzy and you feel weird and something that might be your body's telling you to stop that right now. So use your best judgment. Do what you need to do that makes you feel good, that you feel safe in your body, that you still feel like you're supporting your baby, and have fun with it. You can still attend your regular yoga classes as long as you're feeling good and your doctor's like, yeah, that's great. Always consult your doctor. If there's any questions, leave a comment below. I'll try my best to answer them as best as I can. Thank you so much. Have a great day.